We're looking at Toy Biz's Wolverine today, bub. So this is X-Men #1 from October 1991. I first came across this in a comic shop in 1992, so I was a little late to the game. But to be fair, I was still in elementary school at the time, so trips to the comic shop were a little outside of my control. Oh, and not this particular copy of X-Men #1. That one I sort of kept reading till the cover wore off. Regardless, this cover doomed me. Seeing this Jim Lee art, I was immediately a fan. It wasn't long before X-Men became a monthly pull for my meager allowance, and the Superman and Iron Man comics I'd been dabbling in before became a thing of the past. So naturally, I wanted the toys as well. I had seen the Toy Biz action figures at the aisles of Toys R Us before, and had probably seen the toy commercial for the X-Men, and I had picked up a Captain America or a Spider-Man here and there. I knew what the quality was like since I had previously gotten the Batman and DC Comics toys from Toy Biz. And having had the Kenner action figures from Superpowers before that, I knew Kenner was the superior toy company. And yet, I got my first Wolverine in around Christmas 1992, along with most of the 91 and 92 X-Men toy lines. The gorgeous Dave Cockrum art on that cover, that classic card design, how could I resist? The sculpting on the figure wasn't the best, but the action figures had their charm. Retractable claws and a removable mask that doubled as a ring. Fun. He also came with a Japanese sword. Given the time frame, it's probably the honor sword of the clan Yashida. But let's be honest, this is a hideous head sculpt. It definitely doesn't reflect the Jim Lee design I was seeing on the comic page. It looks like Toy Biz prioritized the mask looking decent on the figure over Logan's sideburns. The end result is that Logan looks like an inverted triangle with a really bulbousy mug. It's better to leave the mask on. Thankfully, though it's not obvious on the cross-sell of the back of the card, that was not the only Wolverine released in 1991. There is the electronic talking Wolverine. The electronic talking Wolverine came from a small line of Marvel superheroes and X-Men figures retooled to remove most of their special gimmicks and instead receive this electronic backpack with pre-recorded phrases. Now, the batteries on this backpack have inevitably died, but thankfully there's a spot on the back of the card that lets us know what batteries we need to replace them. So, I've hunted down a pair, and we're gonna see if it brings this backpack back to life.
Take your best shot. I got claws, I can use them.
This Wolverine also comes with the sword, but more importantly, he has a new head sculpt with a molded-on mask, and thankfully, no triangle head to be seen. The claws are permanently extended here and are a bit short and stout, but I think it's a better-looking figure overall. Just ignore that the mask is the wrong color over the bridge of the nose. Sadly, I don't know the artist for this card art, but it is a striking rendition of the old Knucklehead all the same. But there was one more Wolverine released in 1991, and frankly, I didn't even know it existed until I was browsing eBay a few months ago. Now, I was fortunate enough to get into San Diego Comic-Con, and as I was browsing the exhibition hall on Sunday, I walked past a booth, and there it was, up on the back wall. And so, I allowed myself an impulse buy. This is the supersize Wolverine. It is 15 inches tall, fully posable, and has even more of that great Dave Cockrum art on the package. And though it's got the same cross-sell photos on the back, seeing them extra large here, it's just something kind of special. This figure is rotocast, which makes sense. Something this large and solid plastic would be pretty heavy for a kid to hold. He has the stumpier claws of the talking Wolverine, but the removable mask of the main line. He even still keeps the sword. Why it's tan here, I can't explain, but then it wouldn't be early Toy Biz without some unconventional quirks. Whereas the mainline Wolverine seemed to prioritize the mask over the face, this supersized one takes the opposite tack. The bare Logan head looks great. It's not quite the Jim Lee design, but it is a sort of a classic 80s Wolverine hairstyle. I can dig it. Now, the full lush mutton chops here make the mask a little compromised. You can see they had to extend the sides of the mask to cover the facial hair. You know, real hair would flatten under the mask, but the plastic, not so much. Here's a quick Photoshop adjustment just to see what it would look like with the traditional mask shape. Now, Wolverine wasn't the only supersized figure Toy Biz made. There's also a Magneto out there. Oddly enough, Magneto also got the mainline and talking figure treatment, so you can make 2 pairs of all 3 figure types. Though choosing Wolverine to go against Magneto usually doesn't end well for Wolverine. I should also point out that while you can get both supersized figures in their retail box, they were also made available through Sears mail order, bagged in simple cardboard shipper boxes. Since Wolverine quickly changed back to his blue and yellow costume in the comics and more importantly the cartoon, it was a few years before Toy Biz revisited this brown and yellow costume. They made a few different figures, but the 2004 Marvel Legends release is probably the best that Toy Biz put out. So these are the 3 1991 Wolverine figures, but there's one more figure I need to mention. In 2018, Hasbro released a brown and yellow Wolverine on a retro card. Though it's not their first release of this costume, and it was on a card that's more akin to the Marvel Superheroes line, it's definitely a callback to the 1991 mainline Wolverine. We've lost the sword and the retractable claws, but the alternate heads and the removable mask piece very much evoke that classic figure. That sort of brings us to the end of it today. Hope you all enjoyed. Please, if you have any questions, comment below on the video. We'll see if we can get back to you. I am really looking forward to having this super-sized Wolverine. It's been a few weeks since I purchased it, and I've just been eyeing it in that box, resisting the urge to open it up because I needed to get pictures and record this video first. So I'm very much looking forward to opening it up. I'm sure you've already seen the pictures in the inserts of it, loose with accessories added. And I'm hoping it'll be very much a cherished part of my collection for the foreseeable future. Okay, thanks for watching today. Please like, share, subscribe, all that social media stuff, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this episode of Articulated Points. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'd appreciate it if you would like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to learn more about some of the toys featured in this episode or want to follow us on social media, links are in the description below this video.